Yes, we are back outside. We are back outside checking the metrics on everything. How everybody feeling out there? As y'all can see, it's just me once again rolling solo dolo, but I do this. I live in this land. I live in this realm. So what's up? This is That's 86 podcast. I am your host, Bryant, also known as BryGuy, and I'm excited to be here. You know why? Let me tell you why. It's nice weather we've been having lately. They took off the regulations, so now no mask. Everybody's back outside. The bars are at 100%. Restaurants at 100%. Food is at 100%. Staff is not at 100%. Unfortunately, it's not easy. It's not easy out here trying to get people to come back, but that is what it is. You know how we start this off, so I'm going to start this off with a nice little toast, a nice little cheers. So right now I'm drinking Larceny small batch bourbon. Boom, pour a little bit. So cheers to you all. Cheers to me. And let's do this. All right, so here in Pennsylvania, it's been pretty interesting. Pennsylvania has opened up before June 11th, but here in Philadelphia, which is like its own state, you might as well just say that, we just opened up Philadelphia 100%, so everybody's back outside. The weather's nice, summer's right around the corner. Everybody's sitting there hanging out, showing off all the clothes they've been holding on to for this past year and a half. Couldn't wait to bring the spring dresses out, or is it the summer dresses? Whatever, the ones that I like, got that going on. People got their toes out. You got the chads, the tods, with the shorts going, with the popped up polo collars going on. You got me over here with like a tank beater on, it's just like Also, today is Flag Day, so salute to everybody out there, represent your flag right now. I am wearing a Stoli flag, Pride, because it's also Pride Month, so, repping all kinds of like flags. I just saw that. I don't really have the red, white, and blue, so I couldn't do that. Don't have any green, white, whatever color, for whatever, orange, for Mexico. I don't have any other colors or any other flags, so, I'm just sitting here recommending whatever I saw, so I grabbed this. Sun's out, guns out. Hey, you see that? Kind of hitting the gym a little bit. Everybody feeling good. Make sure you take care of your physical as well as your mental health. Just came off for Mental Awareness Month. So yeah, man, it's just a check. Hopefully everybody out there is feeling good, because I know I'm feeling great. It's been a little bit crazy, in the restaurants. I got a lot of people sitting there just saying, I'm from Florida, so glad to be here. I'm glad that you guys aren't wearing masks, because I hated them. The staff, my co-workers, they were excited. They couldn't wait to rip off the mask. They hated it. So now, they get to flaunt off their beautiful smiles, get to read their lips when they're saying things. Because with the mask on, it was a lot hard to sit there and understand if somebody's saying hello and whatnot. But that's just that. So, it's just cool. It's just pretty interesting, when you're coming here, you're just like, I didn't know that's what you look like, I didn't know if anybody had mustaches or beards, none of that, so it's just pretty interesting. You learn to communicate through your eyes with your eyes, throughout this past year and a half or whatever, however long it's been. So, salute to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody's having a good time. Let's see. It's like, where do you begin, right? I think I'm going to begin with making a variation on an old fashioned. I think that's something that I want to do right about now. So I'm going to get this process started, I'm going to do it the old way with the sugar cube. Boom. Throw that in here. Add some bitters to it. I'm using the classic Angostura bitters for this. I'm going to kind of drench this. Boom. Just like that. That would have been awkward if that broke, right? So I just put like 8 dashes of Angostura bitters on there, and I'm going to do a little variation. For my fruit flavor, I'm actually going to use the strawberry preserve rather than anything else. than like a cherry or anything. See what comes of that. Dump that there, just a bar spoon of that. I'm also gonna leave that like that for a second. Not do that anymore. All right, cool. So now that I have that, I'm gonna add 2 ounces. Did I move my jiggers? All right, cool. Nope, my jiggers are still here. Jiggle what, jiggle what? Yeah, gonna do 2 ounces of this Larceny bourbon to get that going. Gonna muddle a little bit. And then I'm gonna add ice and stir. It's pretty good. I'm happy to see a lot of people, like a lot of my bartenders still competing, doing the online competitions. Shout out to Jesse Sear, who just did a competition for, I believe, Hennessy. I believe he just did one for Hennessy. It looks really good as cocktail, so I'm excited about that. I want to actually try to reproduce that, see what it tastes like. All right, muddle this a little bit, that out, boom. Gonna add some ice. Probably gotta crack up some ice, so use my ice pick. Yeah, I know. We usually, like on the podcast, usually don't go into depth with too many cocktails or anything. We're usually just drinking things straight, bouncing ideas off one another. But I figured, since it's just me, and I know how to make a lot of different cocktails while speaking at the same time, I'll just go that way with it, you know? So it's a lot of different things that's happening within the city. There's a lot of movers and shakers. Everybody's excited. I see a lot more cocktail menus being developed. So I guess this pandemic gave a lot of people a lot of time to sit there and think about different kind of ingredients to use, you know, got a lot of play time, you know, rather than working 14 hours a day. You got to spend a good 5 hours on R&D. It's nothing wrong with that. Definitely, like, if you got the time, because that's what everybody didn't have before. They didn't have a lot of time to sit there and come up with cocktails or anything, because you always had the work, and then you got to try them out at the gig. But then, you know, like, it's only so much you can do at the gig, because one, it's not your product, you know, so you can't just do too much R&D. So at that point, you're just pretty much just doing, you're just pretty much just trying out whatever you have so far, you know, and hopefully selling it, and people are willing to buy it. Definitely if it's off menu, but like I said, for the last year and a half, nobody's been able to sit at the bar. So we're only a couple days here in Philadelphia, a couple days into having people sit at bars. So, you know, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see how bartenders have developed on their salesmanship of their own cocktails, something that's not on menu, how many numbers. The analytics behind that are going to be really interesting, you know, because that's how you move product, you know. I wonder how many people are going to sit there and try to convince their patrons to go off well. You know, it's not to get this with a well drink, but a well spirit, but instead get this with something else. You know, get this with an identifiable brand, I guess you would say, or even a new brand, like Snoop Dogg's gin. Indigo, I believe that's what it's called. Purple bottle, beautiful. It's a strawberry infused gin. I had it on here, I believe, a while ago. That had to be a couple months ago. But yeah, I probably overstirred this because this ice is being really interesting. All right, cool. Put this over here. Finish this. So yeah, I mean, this time is definitely going to be pretty interesting just to see how people have been utilizing it. That's a beautiful color. Still got that red from the strawberry yet, of course. And then I am going to also add a lemon zest to it, or a lemon peel, just to get some citrus going into it, you know, outside of the the strawberry, which adds a little bit of like sweetness and some kind of like acidity to it. But I feel like if you add this lemon peel, it'll definitely take it to the next level. And I'm going to top it off with some fresh ice. As I struggle with the ice. All right, let's see how this goes. It smells like an old fashioned. Yo, it tastes just like an old fashioned because it is an old fashioned. And then on the back end, it starts where you get a hint of the strawberry notes, strawberry flavors. It's still like, it's pretty wide and bold in texture like that, really smooth consistency. It kind of reminds me of more like of a Manhattan style. So that's pretty cool. Yes, I didn't get too crazy with like whatever, cause with going away from like the family tree or just making a variation of this. Like I could just imagine like using like peanut butter or something to add a little bit more complexity to it. All right, so I should be sipping on this for a little bit. But yeah, so back outside, we all back outside. Everybody's good. It's sports, it's the playoffs, you know, which are interesting. Like the NBA playoffs are definitely interesting. There's a lot of upsets that's happening. So a lot of people are going into the bars. Like my bar is like packed out every day, you know? So it's pretty interesting, and just seeing a different clientele and what they're asking for, because you know, you have baseball going on. And here in Philly, the Phillies, we just had, I think it's a guy named Luke Williams just in his first game, hit the game-winning home run, you know? Family in the stand, so you know, Philadelphia went crazy, so you know, they're crowning him and everything. The Sixers are doing pretty good, you know? I think the series is tied up now. You know, we already knew Brooklyn was gonna do what Brooklyn does. You know, that's just the all-star team or Monstar team, whatever you wanna call that. So, you know, just seeing the different energies within the bars, because we have one TV at my bar, and it's kind of like, all right, after the playoffs goes off, then now I'm looking for like golf, you know, I'm looking for tennis, just looking for all of these different sports just to keep things going and keep the energy going. And a lot of people are out, you know, the energies are in the restaurant side it's so many different energies, it's overwhelming. It's a lot of anxiety that's going on. It's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of, you know, trying to remain calm and cool, you know, because that's what people are looking for, that date night experience, while other people are looking for that birthday experience. So it's just a whole lot, like, because everybody's been talked away for a year and a half. And to be able to manage all of that is really tiresome mentally. Definitely on the servers, the bartenders, you know, the bus boys, the food runners, or the bus girl, and bus girls or bus women, you know, bus boy, bus woman, bus man, bus woman, whatever, you know, whatever. But yeah, it's just a lot, because a lot of people, since they've been gone for so long, or is away or tucked in a house for a year and a half or working from home, you know, it's like now when they go out there expecting even more than the level of service the level of expectation is so high. So when they're going out, they're just like, no, I deserve the best. And yes, you do deserve the top of the top. Now, the hard part is everybody's understaffed. So the level of expectation that's being demanded is being demanded by like 20 other tables for one person, you know, for one section. So it's kind of hard. And a lot of people are just not even being understanding or having any empathy towards whoever's serving them, you know? It's just like, yeah, I see that there's 100 other people that you're taking care of, but I want you to take care of me because it's my day, it's my time, I'm here. So it's pretty hard. And everybody's doing their best, and I see a lot of people just not get tipped, and that sucks, it's like, yes, like you got provided the best service, like no matter what. It wasn't a horrible experience for you. It's just maybe it's just the lack of finances that's going around in the world because nobody's been working people have been working, but the hard times, the hardships that's been going on, so maybe that's why things aren't getting left. That's why things aren't getting left right now as far as tips goes, or very little. But then you do have occasionally some people that's generous with tips. So it doesn't even balance out. It doesn't even balance out because there's no reason there's a 12 top table and the bill is like $1,000 and the tip is probably like $10, $20. That's sad. That's hurtful. Because like the chefs, the line cooks, everybody's just working hard to try to prepare the best meal for that experience, and then for that to be the end result is mentally draining. That's why I think that a lot of people, or everybody in the hospitality industry, should seek therapy just to talk about it, talk through it. Because I've seen a lot of mental crashes. I've seen it from, like, no matter if it's the weather, like if it's a thunderstorm and it's like, dang, I gotta work in this, and then go to work and then you just have that mental breakdown. The stresses at home, like it's just so many different things that just falls into play. And when you're back on that floor, it's just like nobody, like they don't care, it's just like, no, like this is my moment of royalty, like I'm the queen, you're just a servant, and it's the humanly aspect is gone, and it's tough. It's tough. Like even now, with all the outside dining, now there are a lot more, like Philadelphia is really big with homelessness. So there's a lot of people that's homeless, that's walking past, asking for money. You offer food, they don't want the food, they just want the money. So, and like it being public space, like it's a sidewalk, there's not much you can do besides just sit there and just say no. Now if they come all the way to you and your table, that's pretty interesting too, because it's warm, it's hot, who knows the end result of that, I think I'm just ranting right now. I don't even know where I'm going with this. These are all the energies just happening with the restrictions just getting lifted all at once. It's no mask, it's new hours or regular hours, for employees in restaurants, it's 100% capacity. It all just happened just like that, it's just like open the floodgates. What do? Are you running away from the wave that's coming, or are you standing there embracing it, just letting it hit you? Like, how are you dealing with it? That's why you're meant to crack. It's just like you weren't prepared for it, you weren't ready. I don't think it's no way to really be ready for it. Like, how do you prepare for something like that? But that's what's going on at every place here in Philadelphia right now, and it's fun to hear the stories of the other places of my peers, how their opening experiences were, and the expectations, because ownership always has a disconnect, unless they're right there on the lines with their employees. They really don't get it, it's just the excitement for them to be able to go back to 100%. It's like, all right, let's maximize on all of this, because it's no way that there can be another lockdown based off of the same thing, because they already put out this vaccination that's supposed to be the end all be all for the cure, so it's just like, well, if everybody's vaccinated, there's no way that you can go, how can you lock things down? How can it start spreading again? Oh, it mutated and all that. I thought I was immune to it, There's no way you can go back on this whole project, So it's just like, maximize. We need every penny that we potentially lost throughout this year and a half. So I'm excited that we're open. No, let's do this, let's do that. Let's make a lot of promises, to employees. It's the Wild Wild West. It's the Wild Wild West. It's just so many emotions that's just going on. Yeah. All right, but yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much what's going on. My mental is I'm still in I guess you would say the lockdown times where I'm not letting any of this get to me. I'm not stressing out over any of it. I've already, for a year and a half, I've already adjusted my mindset to more so just like, this is life. This is what it is, being able to adapt, making sure I'm taking care of my mental space so I don't crack under any of these overwhelming experiences. It's kind of just like, it's not really anything I could do. So now what I'm working on, when I'm talking to guests who feel like they're not getting the attention that they hope for, is just to show some empathy, just like, yo, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm here. What can I do for you? To sit there and have those kind of conversations, but to also explain just like, well, you see, we only have like 2 people working, and we have 500 people seated right now. So we're going through a hard time and they're trying their best to sit there and just humanize who they're not humanizing. Because it's just like you don't experience that when if you're in line at Walmart and you see it's only one cashier, you're sitting there like, why do I only have one? Well, because they couldn't get any other people to work, Or at their job, when they feel overwhelmed, there's like, we need more people, like, I'm doing the best I can. I'm sorry, I don't, you've been in this position before, and you see what's happening. So like for you to act that way, I get it. So that, it's just hard. It's just hard. It's not a hard conversation to sit there for me to do that, because all we can do is what we're doing right now. Just like we have one person running all of this food to all of these people. We have one bartender trying to take care of the bar, their patrons, and the service bar. It's just a lot. It's just a lot, and the rules do need to change. The rules do need to change for the hospitality industry on taking care of said employees and staff, the get people to actually want to come back. People want to feel heard. That's it. They want to feel like they're respected, and it's not just you're squeezing every ounce of me out of me in order to get a penny for you, and you don't even care. It goes back to what I've always said. It's being hospitable. I'm hospitable to you, unless if you're paying me to be hospitable to you. That's kind of like that mindset, and it's not a good mindset, because we're in hospitality, so you're supposed to be hospitable to everybody. Everybody's supposed to feel good, take some pride, take some ownership into coming into the establishment. Without that, it's hard, and this is a stressful time, definitely for the people that work for the companies throughout the pandemic, sitting there just doing the takeout orders, not being able to get sat and all that kind of stuff, just doing everything just to help your business stay going, and maybe growing. It's just don't lose focus. Don't lose that, because they're showing empathy, because they're not just doing it just because they got bills, because what they were doing doesn't cover that. They're doing it because they want to help you, because they believe in your vision, they believe in your concept, wherever you're trying to go. They want to be a part of it and help you. So it's crazy. It's crazy from the inside world of hospitality looking out. and vice versa, you know, because I could imagine sitting there. Like, I've been going out to restaurants in Pennsylvania, not in Philadelphia, when everything was closed, and I've just seen how people were acting, you know, and it's just like, wow, I'm not looking forward to that, you know. I'm not looking forward to that, but within all of that, in hindsight, I was blessed enough to be able to go out of our jurisdiction and see how everything else was moving, you know, so I was able to prepare and adjust, pivot for when this moment did come. I mean, which also has this platform for me to be able to use my voice and just get it out, and just be able to hopefully hit your airwaves and then reach you, and then help you sit there and get through it, or whatever it's supposed to do, you know. I don't know, but I just hope you enjoy and learn, and then get a different perspective, you know. That's why I usually like my guy Theo here to bounce it off of, because he has a whole different perspective. But yeah, like, outside of that, you know, it's just a whole bunch of excitement. Like, I'm glad. Like, I'm still going to wear the mask. Like that's like, I think I'm going to wear the mask until it's mandatory to not wear mask. Just for the whole, because I'm one of those kind of people. Like, I'm that stubborn, Capricorn or Sagicorn all the way, because I'm on the cusp. So you get that. But yeah, December 24th, baby. So I'm just like, no, you done forced me to wear this mask for over a year. I'm not going to just sit there and just like not wear it just because you say not wear it now. It's like, no, you made me wear this for a whole year plus. You know, you forced us to wear it for a whole year and plus. I'm not taking this off just because you say, oh no, you don't have to wear it anymore. No, I'm going to wear it until I don't feel like wearing it anymore. And I get a lot of looks. People look at me like I'm the crazy one in the world, and I'm just like, no, I'm not the crazy one. You're the crazy one. You're the crazy one. You just like that, huh? Just like that, huh? You just take it off. Wow. Just because somebody says take it off. No, man, that feels like it kind of feels like a pimp. You know, you kind of feel like, you know, oh man, yeah. Just do something just on a drop of a dime, and somebody telling you to do it. You're like, take that off. And you already, I didn't want to have it on already. What? That kind of makes sense. If you didn't want to have it on, I mean, but then that's the conversation after that. That's the conversation after that. It's like, you didn't want to have it on already? Well, why didn't you just take it off way before? You should have been taking that off. We could have got things happening a lot quicker. Never mind. All right, that's just my sick mind. That's just my sick mind. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an interesting summer. We're a couple days away, like probably a week. We're less than a week away from it officially being summer. We've experienced a lot of rain, so we can't really bring it in like the spring or Memorial Day was the summer, the pre-summer. No. It's not been nice. It's not been kind. Weather has not been kind. So it's going to be a hot summer, and I'm not saying a hot boy or a hot girl summer. Not saying anything like that. I'm just saying it's been a whole lot of people just waiting a year and a half to get outside, and now that they can, and it's the summertime, everything's open, boom boxes are going, you know, cars zooming past, you hear what they listening to, I hear what they listening to, I know where they on their way to, you know, I see how people are dressed, you know, like I just see shorts getting shorter, you know. I see dresses getting a little bit more flowier, you know, with thinner material. I get to see through them. Like, I see how people are giving it up, you know, everybody. I see the consumption of booze that's gone, you know, and it's a whole lot more than you can imagine. Imagine how much booze is just, oh man, it's like you couldn't go to the state store or the liquor store, your wine shop or anything like that. It's like you couldn't, you know. It was like, you would think that it was a whole dry year, you know. You would think that it was the prohibition and the law just got lifted, and now everybody's just like, oh, this whole time I was saving all this money just to spend, you know, just to spend it here or whatever, you know. So it's going, you know, like, it's a lot that's happening. And like here in Philly, there's unfortunately RIP to everybody, you know, like my condolences to all the families that have lost someone that's loved to them. But that's how you know people couldn't wait to see people outside. People just could not wait. That the homicide rate is so high. Oh man, just last week outside the restaurant downtown in Center City, Philadelphia, you know, had somebody sitting there trying to jump out their apartment condo window, you know? Like, I'm just like, this is, you know, like the SWAT was there. They blocked everything off, had the pads to try to, you know, the air pads to try to catch if something was to happen, you know, like it's just a weird time, weird energy. I don't know what retrograde we are in or approaching or just have ended, but keep your eyes open, you know, keep your eyes open, your ears listening, like feel the energy, feel the room. Because it's not all love out here. Everybody's not just trying to have a good time. People are angry that they were in the house on lockdown, that they were restricted for that long, you know? So it's not, everybody's just, a lot of people are just willing and ready to act the fool. So all those popular areas, I would highly recommend you stay away. You find a different area that's not so popular, you know? You find off-beaten path and create it, you know, find a gym in that area because everybody want to be where everybody's at, you know. So that nightclub, that popular nightclub with that DJ that you can hear on the radio, I would not go there. I would go to the next best or the third best. I would go to the 12 a.m. DJ that nobody gets to hear on the weekdays. I would go to their party because you know they getting it and they playing the same tunes. You know what I'm saying? Like you might find some really cool people. You know, it might be a nice little lounge. Oh man, lounge is old. Strip club. No, I would stay out of the strip clubs too. I would definitely, yeah. I would stay out of the strip clubs too. Just for, yeah, I would stay out of the strip clubs. Certain ones. Cause that's where everybody's at, you know? If you could get to Stick 48, go to Stick 48 just because they already let you know what type of time they were on. They were just like, no, we're not having any of those shenanigans in here anymore. So at least you won't have to worry about anything, you know, anything real happening there. But yeah. This thing is lit. So I'm talking about this strawberry old fashioned. It's the easiest way to say that. It's pretty lit. What else we got going on? I don't know. I think I just want to live in this moment of everybody's able to be back outside, you know? Like I said, there's a lot of music that just got released. So, you know, yeah. A lot of people had a lot of time to be creative. Just as much like, cause the music, I sit there and pair that with like bartending, right? Like you got a lot of time to create, you know? Like when I'm hearing certain songs, it's a certain kind of drink that will come in mind. And it's like, that'd be pretty cool to have with that. So as I'm scrolling through the socials, I'm starting to see bartenders starting to post up the cocktails they've been working on. You know, they've been posting the videos of the cocktails they created. They have their photography going on, you know. People are making moves. They're aligning themselves with brands because you know what else happens when everything else gets lifted? Brands start to come back out. And you know what brands need? They need people to create cocktails and to make cocktails for them for events. Event season is it's a couple weeks away, you know? I believe Esplanade is doing something, or Campari. One of them have something coming up soon. So like they're on it, you know? They're on it. So, you know, it's like, why not, you know? Why not sit in there like and just create? Like if I was bartending and throughout this whole pandemic, I'm sitting there using my unemployment, like to get booze, to create, you know? How can I pivot myself out? So, you know, when things do release, it's just like, here's my catalog. You know who's really good at that? Paul McDonald from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Head I guess beverage director or head bartender at Friday, Saturday, Sunday here in Rittenhouse. He's always taking wonderful photos of his cocktails that he's created. Man, like I tell you, they look stunning. Like I'm pretty sure he can just sell that as artwork, a collage of all of the cocktails he's made, you know? Like they're that gorgeous. He doesn't even have to give you the recipes to go with them or the instructions on how to make it. Just a photo album, you know? Put that in the art section of Barnes and Noble or whatever bookstore. It sells. Because what that does when it doesn't have the recipes attached to it, it gives people an incentive to come and see him live. And I'm not mad at that. Hopefully, Paul, this reaches your ears and that's something that you're already working on because you know how my mind works. We had many conversations in a bar, you know? So in the direction of this, when you first started doing it, I was right at your bar saying, yo, this is cool. I see what you're doing. I like it. You're going to keep on doing it? You should. You know, I was right there championing you on. So I'm so happy that you got this position at Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you know, which is one of the premier bars, restaurants here in Philadelphia. So man, salute to you, honestly. Salute to you, and just to keep up with it and not running out of ideas, but not only that, but even creating a new balancing measurement system where it's not just 2 ounces to the 1 ounce and all that formulas that's already been there, but to just take a mathematical equation and start making drinks that way. Genius. I'm surprised that it's not trademarked or patented or something, you know what I'm saying? Like a better way of monetizing that so it's your thing, you know? Who else has been cooking up? Pam Witzner. Sorry about that. Pam, she's always been cooking up with the content. I just can't believe I said that. Sorry, Pam. Can't believe, but yeah, she's always been cooking up with the content. Like even throughout this whole time, I don't know, they kind of remind me of TikToks. I'm not sure if they're on TikTok, but she's like with the brands, just like classic cocktails, making them, but not making them in the sense of like, this is how you make it. No, it's just the ingredients. It's just like she'll have the shaker and she'll have like limes or lemons or whatever. And then like, it'll say 1 ounce of lemon juice, and she's squeezing a lemon into it, 2 ounces of like Campari, and then you see the Campari and she's like, it's just fun with like either like a cosplay kind of thing without being a cosplayer. So I didn't sell that at all, Pam. My fault. I'm just trying to work through it, how I articulate it. But hopefully everybody, you just go check out Pamela's page and see what I'm talking about, because they're really cool, They're really cool. And it's a fun way to get the brands involved, definitely with creating content. I don't know how the music licensing goes there, but I don't know if you would have to pay for those for full ownership of that content, or if they would have to fit the bill to keep that going. But that's something that's really cool too. It's something different, Who else is killing the content game as within the bar world? Like, it would be pretty interesting to see servers do something, like I don't know how you can make it fun, because you're not creating anything, right? I guess like the comedian, like I guess like the thing, the restaurant, when it's just they're just like forget about it. I guess that's one way to go about it, and that's a lot of people like that because that's funny and it sticks, hashtagable and all that. But like I was like where do I want to go with this? Like, I guess you can have so many different ways of being like a maitre d', right? With the content game. It's just like you can create, if I was a server, I would be creating my profile to look more maitre d'-ish. Now, when I say that, maitre d's, they run everything pretty much. They're pretty much the restaurant managers without that title. And they could make up to 7 figures, 6 figures normally, you know, or whatever, you know, lower 6 figures, close to 6 figures, right? Maitre d's. Now, these are the people, these are the host. They know everybody that walks through the door. They're making reservations. They're touching tables. You know, they're them people. You know, it's like definitely like maitre d's are pretty much only in the popular places. You know, where all the movers and shakers are going. So, you know, they know everybody, they know all the politicians, the athletes, the lawmakers, judges, whatever, you know, the Supreme Court, they know everybody, you know, and they have a relationship with them, you know, all through the restaurant. They represent the restaurant really well. I don't know if we have any here in Philadelphia, you know. I did meet one out in Buffalo. Pretty cool guy too. But yeah, I would like, that's one way of going about it. Sitting there just creating content where how you would do it, you know, your steps of service and how you would build relationships with these public figures, you know, and everybody else that comes into the establishment. I think that would be pretty cool. I mean, these aren't how-to guides or anything like that, so you don't have to make them boring. You do it however you want to, you know. These are just ideas that I'm just throwing out. Remember, like a while ago, a couple months ago on an episode, Theo was always just saying like, exactly when I walked off once, Theo was mentioning like Bryant is he's not telling you what to do. He just throws out an idea and it's for you to just run with it, you know, like, because you can create a whole new lane for yourself that you never even imagined. That's why I like the hospitality industry. It's a lot you can do with it. It's a lot of money within it, you know? It's a lot. You know, you're always surprised what you'll stumble into. Find out loving it. Like now, social media. Social media is the new marketing, right? And you can pivot yourself at a young age. If you're always on social networks and you know how to sit there and like brand yourself, you can get so many accounts. Like you could be making easily high, almost a 6-figure salary or figure based off yourself by just having these companies or these restaurants and bars as your clients, and just do content management for them, you know. You know, you can do content management for them, coming up with strategies. You can consult for them, or they could have you on payroll. They can have you salaried, and you sit there and you do whatever it is that you do for them. Crazy, you know, crazy. At such a young age, you can sit there and just start building up a client list, you know. Even at an older age, you know, if you know how to work the social networks, you can sit there and just get a position, just get a job, social network or social media manager. Easy salary. Boom, you figure out what it is they want, then you tell them what they need. Golden. Because that's going to be the new wave. Because it doesn't have to stop there. Like if you have these as your clients, you can get people like me. You can get bartenders. You can get servers. You can start just getting everybody in the hospitality industry on your payroll, you know, or as clients, or you know, as clients for you. Because it's just like, well, you don't have the time to sit there and be able to manage your social networks. I can do that for you. This is the strategy that I propose. Game, just like that, you know? It's like you're working 14 hours a day. So, I mean, how could you sit there and focus on your social networks, you know, and a professional aspect if you're at work 14 hours a day, you know? What I can do is I can come in, I can get some content for you, you know? I can see you, take a photo of you, while you're sitting there smiling, serving, or doing whatever it is, creating a cocktail or whatever. Go back, doctor it up, make it pretty, Photoshop, do whatever it is I gotta do. And we lead with the campaign like this. Boom. It's just that easy. I tell you. I know all this stuff. It's just so hard. It's just so hard. And then you got to find the right people. But it's easier just to find people. It's easier to find people who know what they want to do than it is to nurture or develop people into what they want to be. It sounds backwards, but yeah, that's how that goes. All right. Geez, I didn't even finish this drink. I had so many more ideas. I wanted to do a Paloma. I wanted to make so many cocktails. I wanted to do a bottle of wine. But yeah, I already gave y'all a lot of time for even just a solo act. This is 45 minutes right here. 45 minutes timestamp, and I just blabbed on a whole lot about opening up, the world, the Philadelphia, lifting its restrictions and what are the possibilities within that, how the energy has been, what the vibes seem like they're going towards, how people are acting, I just covered a whole lot. And then I went into how you can expand, how you can use your time right now, or how you potentially have been using your time for this moment. Now you start leaking all your cocktails that you've been making, or the new steps of service you came up with and all that kind of stuff right now, because people want to see it. People want to know what you've been doing for a year and a half, because the only thing that they've been thinking about is that you've been sitting around collecting unemployment, just easy, not doing nothing, not progressing within life. They just view you a little bit differently. That's all I'm saying. They think that they don't believe that you've been out here honing in on your talents, and they can't wait to get back to see what you've been working on. Nah, they're coming back expecting you not to be there and probably collecting a whole lot of unemployment and seeing what you did with that money. They're going to ask you, what have you been doing? You've been collecting unemployment? Well, what have you been doing with it? How are you still here? They want to hear those stories. They want to hear how you invested it, if you did, or how you blown it, if you did. More so, just because they're upset that they potentially, not everybody, because some people do want to hear your story. What have you been doing this year and a half or whatever, But some people, they're just upset because they weren't able to have that opportunity, because they still had to work from home, so they couldn't just chill and collect unemployment, collect however much, thousands of dollars a month or whatever, They had to work for it. And they don't think that you deserve it, even though they don't understand how this industry works, how you're more than deserving of it, That's why I try to make it easier and just come on here and just tell everybody like how I've been doing it. Like, hey, this is what I was doing, and sharing it with you. All right, so this is a reasonable amount of time. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in, vibing out with me for another session of That's 86 podcast. I'm Bryant. Dag, I can't even wrap this up right now without giving a highlight. Jeez, y'all almost let me do that. I almost did that to myself. All right, cool. Had to think about it, which way I wanted to go with this. All right, so I'm going all the way. I'm giving a special highlight to Jackie Summers. He is the owner of Jack from Brooklyn, JFP Distillery, where he makes an amazing rum, and he has an amazing liqueur called Sorrel that came and couldn't keep the funding up for it. That happens a lot in business. That doesn't mean that it was bad business. That means it was great business. It's just hard. It's just a different type. It's just a different type of business you're doing when the demand is so high and you can't keep up. It actually is more harmful to you than you believe. It's like, oh, you sold out of everything. It's like, yeah, that's good. We need more. I can't produce more right now. That hurts. Having those conversations, it hurts. You lose a lot of clients. You lose a lot of market share when you can't keep up with the demand. It's a lot of unsatisfied people. it's still I'm still paying off, not me personally, but that could be the story. It's like, yo, I'm still paying off all the stuff that I put in the beginning, and that's where all of that went. That's why I don't have it. That's why I need more funding, But those conversations are different. But yeah, so shout out to Jackie Summers and that whole distillery. Man, I'm excited. I'm glad that you got a great VC behind you for the rebrand, the launch. Man, yes, salute to you. I can't wait to see bottles back on shelves, them back in bars, seeing what bartenders are gonna do with them. Hopefully maybe there'll be some kind of like competition, something small. I don't know, I think it would be pretty cool. If what were Steve and Giuseppe and all of them doing back then at competition? Can't remember what it was, but they had this small little local New York bartender competition. It'd be cool to even sit there and sponsor that or have something like that going. So therefore, like, the culture really embraces and keeps it going forward and make sure that every guest comes in and gets to try your product. Yo, man, seriously. All right, so that's my salute to you. That's my special shout out. Appreciate you. Keep on being great, Jackie. All right. Now I'm wrapping this up. I think it's time. Yep. That's all good. All right. So thank you for checking out That's 86'd podcast. I'm Bryant, also known as BryGuy. And man, this has been great. I'm so excited for all the things that's to come. We're almost at a year now for the relaunch of the podcast. I made a post earlier today that this has been a works for 2 years. Started out as an idea, It's like, I just wanted to do a podcast that's based around the hospitality industry. And I was thinking that I needed 3 other co-hosts. It had to be me, a guy, and 2 women. That's really what I thought, so I approached everybody. I was sitting there just like, all right, telling everybody about the idea. Everybody seemed on. I guess schedules didn't link up. I don't know, but the 2 women, they didn't, it just didn't happen. So I had my guy Jeff, my guy Jeffrey. He has the best personality for podcasting, and it worked. It worked. You guys heard the story all before. It's all the way my fault. I just wasn't feeling things. It wasn't a good deal for podcasting. So I just had to stop, It's like break away from that, because I wanted more freedom. I wanted more control. I wanted to do things a little bit differently. Jeff went on, continued his life. Jeff is now at Attico on pretty much Broad and Walnut. Well, it's on Broad Street, in between Locust and Walnut at Attico Rooftop Bar. You should definitely check him out. Time went on. Then a year later, spoke to Theo about it, and Theo was like, yeah, man, I like to do that. I wanted to do that with you before and all this kind of stuff, Hashed it out. Here we are today. Theo's still rocking out with me a year later. He's not here today, but it's fine. It's cool because we're still working on it, just to keep on hitting milestones. This is one milestone, being able to do it consistently for a year. We've been over a year, but whatever. They consistently put out content. So when I sit there and actually promote and tell people about it, it's a whole catalog they can go through, whole catalog. Hear all the stories, hear the ups, the downs, and all that kind of jazz. And now I'm looking for the recognition to just start trying to produce it to the level where, maybe it'll get a Tales of the Cocktail Award, maybe some kind, I don't know, like a hospitality broadcasting award, maybe a James Beard Media Award or something like that, I'm working towards those. I'm telling you guys my goals right now because I'm going to keep moving, just building the audience, and keep on just branching out internationally because we're really good. Our international following gets amazing. Got to get national though. That's something I'm really working towards, and I'm excited about the groove. Also, man, Nothing else. Don't want to even talk about any other things that's in the works. All right. So thank you for tuning in. That's 86 Podcast. You can always check us out on YouTube. Just search That's 86 Podcast. You can always go to the website www.thats86.com, where we do sell merch. You can get the videos as well as the audio experience from there. The audio, it drops on Wednesdays on the website, and on Fridays the video gets released and you can just find it on YouTube. All right. So, cheers. I love it here.